the word embody is really like a hot buzzword right now. And it's so much more to me really than just like, if people are talking about, hey, let me say this to the listeners. If you're trying to study embodiment and people are talking about embodiment, it's not embodiment. It might sound great and you'll learn a ton, but embodiment.
It's theory. Yes. It's the theory of embodiment.
I'm always like, hey, I'm like, oh my God, I want to do something with this body. So embodiment is actually embodiment. Like it's actually getting into the body. So movement, really, if you want to do embodiment, you got to do something with yoga, movement, dance, theater, some kind of expressive shaping, some kind of movement. I'm not saying that all embodiment, it could be meditation, but it's something where you're feeling. Embodiment to me is getting out of your head, as you said, Leslie, and into your body. I mean, that was my tagline for like 10 years. Get out of your mind and into your body. And we're so scared of losing our mind. And it's not because you're going to actually lose your mind. It's because your mind won't be in control of you anymore. That's why we're scared of it. You're not going to go out of your mind. From dancing, you're not going to go out of your mind, but you will let go of the mind for a bit and be like, oh my God, like I am free. The mind is our, basically I feel like I'm in a video game sometimes and my mind's like, do this, do this, do this. I'm like, wait a minute, I control this video game, not you, So it's like when that spirit, energy, soul part of you can take over and say to the mind, oh, thank you for that information. Thank you for that negative thought. Yes, I get that. I know that that's my pattern. Once you step like a teensy bit away from it, it's almost like you're in your body now. Now you're conscious because you're in control of, not in control, but you're in the driver's seat of your life. It's a different feeling. And I think it really happens through embodiment. So I'll try to explain it in a way that will make sense. So I used to describe the way I lived my life before dance. So before dance, I went to school and I got really good grades and I did really well and I got a job and I did the job and I went to work every day. I swear, I'm not kidding. And I had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I went to, I did all the things that you do. That's just what you do. This is what I did. And I realized that I was living on this like level of existence that it didn't have any, it had undulations of my own personal internal, but it didn't have a depth to it of experience. Like I felt like I was just driving on autopilot. So I called this thing the escape hatch. So I used to have this thing where whenever anything would upset me, I would go up into the escape hatch. I had to do it this way because I'm mirrored. So up into the escape hatch. This is the escape hatch where I don't feel my feelings. I just live right here in the escape hatch. So to me, that's being disembodied. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you get into your body, I'm not saying it's going to be easier, but it's so essential because if we're not in our body, we're living in the escape hatch. So nothing really is our responsibility. We're in the escape hatch. We can just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to just compartmentalize that, and that. And then I'm really, really unhealthy. And we as a culture all are doing that. So how do we get into our bodies? We literally, even just someone touching you could put you into your body. I don't know if you ever had that happen where you are feeling just not good. You can't relax. You can't calm down. And you just hug someone. And just the hugging or just the touching, someone else actually just touching your back, or touching, your shoulder, and you settle. Because we're actually are a lot more, we have so much more, what's the word I'm looking for? We have so much more ability and so much more resilience and so much more skill and presence and depth to connect if we're in our body, even though it's hard, because there might be emotions that you don't want to feel. So when you're traumatized, and I'm saying this to traumatized individuals, which there are so many, more than there should be, there are so many, and I apologize, and I wish every person their highest and best healing now. But when you're traumatized, or when one is traumatized in their life, the nervous system is programmed to take us out of any chance of repeating that feeling, that whatever that feeling was, I will never feel that again. Okay. So when we shut down a feeling center, if it's fear, if it's terror, if it's rage, if it's anger, if it's grief, we shut down all of it. We don't just shut down that one feeling, right? So we shut down pleasure and joy and freedom and aliveness, right? So it's like this So we're living in this, like, I must not ever feel that. It's like, it gets so tight. I must not ever feel that. And then I never feel it. And then I never feel anything. So I'm just numb. And that's the escape hatch. Yeah. So I had a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's like a mild dissociation. It's not like a total disassociation, but yes, it's like a numbness. It's a numbness. It's a mild disassociation, I call it. Because there's
That's other pathway of the vagal nerve. Yeah.
Exactly. So when we let ourselves feel, which is absolutely terrifying for some people, and I completely honor that, we release the memories, the whole, like the cellular, the way many people talk about cellular memory. I'm still processing the journey of the Jews through, I'm Jewish, I mean, by culture, and I'm still processing those cellular memories of my past, of the past of the Jews. Sometimes I feel it and sometimes I don't, right? But I'm also processing my own experience. So it's a lot. So that's why I love the dance and the movement, the sweat and the sounding and the like emotional release through movement. It doesn't do that thing that if I talk about it, it does it. It's different. It's a whole different, I'm coming into my altered state where, like, I'm able to just really feel it and not re-traumatize myself over and over again by other ways of processing, which I feel like make things more solid. Like, I love the fact that our stories are our power. And I think every person's story brings them into their passion and their right kind of relation with the world. But if we don't heal, we end up with all kinds of toxic stories running around, if that makes sense.